All right, we do want to show you another look at the results for the governor's race. And as a percentage-wise, it says 17%, but you should know that also includes early voting, and there were millions of early votes cast. So this is why Wendy Davis, we're told, called Greg Abbott tonight and conceded the race.
And we think we may be seeing and hearing from Wendy Davis very soon. As soon as she comes out in Fort Worth on the stage, we're going to take you there. Fox 4's Brandon Todd and Sean Rabb have both candidates covered. Let's start with Sean, who's at the Abbott headquarters in Austin. Good evening.
And good evening to you, Clarice. I can tell you it is a party here tonight in Austin. The chairman of the Republican Party, Steve Ministeri, came out and said, "We crushed the Democrats." Right now, Governor Perry is speaking. He says after this group that's been elected tonight, after they finish their first term, it will be 25 years since a Democrat has been elected to a statewide office in Texas. We also tonight heard from George P. Bush, who really electrified the crowd here tonight, is that new generation of Republican leadership. Clearly, though, the Republicans tonight have beat down the Democrats in Texas.
I get to go to California, or to Illinois, or to New York.
Let's listen in now to Governor Perry.
And their governors, they won't admit it, but you know, they wish they had a little bit of what's going on in Texas in their states. And you know what? I'm thinking, I know the results are early tonight, but I'm thinking there's a whole lot of the country that's looking to be a lot more like Texas tonight. Oh, you have, I can't tell you how proud I am to call myself a Texan. To see what you all have done over the course of these last 14 years together.
A lot of the nation watching Texas and wanting to be like Texas tonight. He says he wishes he would have the opportunity to serve with the men and women who've been elected. He says they're going to do, quote, great things for our state. And again, he talked about the Republican Party defeating the Democrats and defeating battleground Texas. We'll talk more about that throughout the night. Back to you, Nick.
Failed bid for president, and people wondering if he's going to get in the race again for 2016.
But he can speak to the base here in Texas, can he?
Yes,
he still has his touch. And there's what we're talking about, the race for governor, well in hand, and in fact over. It's been called. Greg Abbott is the next governor of Texas with 59% of the vote. And it talked about battleground Texas, all that money that came into Texas for Wendy Davis's campaign, millions and millions of dollars, and she has not hit the number that Bill White got without any of that kind of money.
And now questions about the effectiveness of battleground Texas and how the Democrats had plans to make Texas perhaps a swing state, but that's not happening tonight. We're going to go now to Brandon Todd in Fort Worth at the Wendy Davis campaign headquarters.
Right, Clarice, and Representative Chris Turner, who is Wendy Davis's campaign manager, just introduced Wendy Davis. She is now walking out on stage to dress her supporters. They are cheering here. Lots of cell phones taking pictures. They've got music. She was with her family for a good part of the evening after her campaign job was over today. A lot of shaking hands, a lot of calling people. She was on the phone for a good part of the day, according to her campaign managers, and just really working hard. And we're going to go ahead and listen to her speech right now.
I love you. I am so proud to be joined tonight by my family, my daughter Drew, my mother, my sister Jennifer, my brother Joey, and my daughter Amber, of course. And with us in spirit, my father, who instilled in me the kind of fight that I have to be where I am today. The genius and the beauty of our democracy is that ultimately the power rests with the people. Even when the results don't go the way we want them to, we celebrate the fact that we live in a country in which the people get to decide their elected leaders. And tonight, the people of Texas have spoken. Just a few moments ago, I called General Abbott to congratulate him on being elected governor of this incredible state that we call home. And I wished him the very best, because it is in every Texan's interest that he have a productive 4 years as our next governor. Throughout his campaign, General Abbott has reminded us of how strong he is, how determined he is, and while he and I disagree on many issues, I know that he loves Texas. Tonight, I know that you are disappointed, and being disappointed is okay, but being discouraged is not, because what we have before us is an opportunity to remake this state in your image and to prove to the world what we've always known, that this was never about Wendy Davis or Greg Abbott. This has always been and forever will be about each and every one of you. We love you, Wendy. I love you too. And what we have done here in this state and in this campaign is nothing short of extraordinary. We were down by 23 points in January. We had cut that in half by June, and we have been on the offensive ever since, championing education, fighting for sexual assault survivors, pushing to raise the minimum wage, demanding greater awareness of the hazardous chemicals hidden in our communities, and working to protect women's access to health care, and rooting out the culture of corruption that has sold out and shortchanged hardworking Texans. We won day by day, because this wasn't just a campaign to win the governor's seat. This was a fight to make sure that that seat belongs to you, that your voice is there, that justice and equality are there, that your voices and the forces of justice and equality well up from that office and create opportunity and advancement for every single person in this state who's courageous enough to believe in it and work for it and fight for it, as you all have done so beautifully during this campaign. Yes, ma'am. We won. Yes, ma'am. We won because day by day and day after day, you showed up. Tens of thousands of you all over this state again and again to champion the cause, gathering by the hundreds just last week in Wichita Falls, gathering by the thousands at college campuses these last few months where students waited in lines that zigzagged through trees and courtyards, in rooms filled to capacity and overflowing as Texans chanted, "Sí se puede, sí se puede." Voices that had been held down and pent up for decades all through this state cried out and demanded to be heard in the most incredible exercise in democracy and determination and just plain old raw fight that this state has seen in decades. And some literally cried as they met me, inspired to believe that someone could and would be a voice for them. We won day by day because you never backed down. And please, please know this. Your work is not in vain. And the only way that we will have lost tonight is if we stop fighting.
All right, Wendy Davis addressing her supporters here, talking about some of the things she's accomplished at this stage. She began her speech saying that she called Greg Abbott to concede the governorship to him, talking to her supporters here in Fort Worth, but also talking about some of the faces she's met along the campaign trail and thanking them, saying that the fight for them is not over. Clarice and Steve.
All right, Brandon, thank you. We're expecting to see and hear from Greg Abbott, who has been declared the governor-elect. See him live here on Fox Sword about 2 minutes after 10 o'clock tonight.